You would never guess that this chef with incredible knife skills is actually South Korea's #1 top assassin. As his hand rises and the knife falls, the sushi is sliced as thin as cucumber slices. Under his manipulation, the original $10 kimbap and $3.5 instant noodles can be sold at prices comparable to Michelin-starred restaurants. Beneath his rough exterior, he also has a tender side, using just a piece of tin foil to make a rose, directly captivating his little admirer. With his presence, the restaurant quickly became a viral spot for social media check-ins, and this also earned him many female fans. His name is Hyung-wook, and not long ago, he was still a professional assassin. On this day, after completing a mission, he wanted to go to the bathhouse to wash off the blood on his body, but accidentally stepped on a bar of soap. After falling to the ground, he fell into a coma, and his locker tag fell beside another man. The man picked up the locker tag from the ground, then came to Hyung-wook's side.
돈 많은 아저씨 안 됐네.
Because just moments ago, Yoon Jae-sung, who came to the bathhouse to bathe, saw the other's luxury watch, which made him very envious. He recalled his impoverished life. As an extra, he had to worry about money every day, which made him conceive a bold idea. He placed his own locker tag beside Hyung-wook. Soon the medical staff carried Hyung-wook away, and Yoon Jae-sung went to Hyung-wook's locker. Looking at the other's belongings, Yoon Jae-sung was very shocked. At this moment he only wanted to experience the life of a wealthy person. Then, he walked out of the bathhouse, confidently came to the landlord, used Hyung-wook's money to pay a year's rent directly, and then gave the landlord a few bills as a tip, telling him not to disturb him anymore. Yoon Jae-sung's actions surprised the landlord. He couldn't understand how the poor young man who couldn't pay rent a few days ago had become so generous today. Then, Yoon Jae-sung found a car key in his pocket, and upon pressing it, a BMW car came into view. He looked at all this in disbelief. Soon he got into the car. Having never driven a luxury car before, he didn't know where the start button was. After some fumbling, the roar of the engine excited him greatly. Then, he drove around to pay off debts, finally clearing all the debts he owed. Returning to the car, he couldn't let it go for a long time. The condemnation of his conscience made him unable to live under someone else's identity. Then, Yoon Jae-sung went to the hospital. He decided to return Hyung-wook's things to him. But at this moment, Hyung-wook suddenly woke up, and unexpectedly, he had actually lost his memory. Unable to explain clearly, Yoon Jae-sung quickly left with the things, and then Hyung-wook encountered a problem. Having had his identity swapped, he was penniless, and couldn't even pay his own hospitalization fees. At this moment, Rina from the rescue team arrived. Because when Hyung-wook was injured, it was he who went to rescue him, which also made him somewhat familiar with Hyung-wook. The kind-hearted Rina helped him pay the medical fees in advance, and on the way home, Hyung-wook looked at the information in the wallet and fell into deep thought. Learning that he was only 32 years old, Rina was very shocked. And Hyung-wook also couldn't believe that he was so young. In order to comfort him, Rina claimed that he might just look a bit old. The two quickly went to Yoon Jae-sung's home according to the address, and Hyung-wook looked at everything in front of him in disbelief. Although he had lost his memory, as a long-term top assassin, he lived extremely disciplined, and facing such an environment, he was exceptionally disgusted. After his tidying up, he soon had a comfortable environment. In order to let Hyung-wook have an income, Rina brought him to his family's restaurant to do odd jobs.
재성씨, 여기 김밥 2줄만 썰어줘.
Under Hyung-wook's manipulation, the customers were all shocked by his exquisite food presentation, and seeing such delicate food, everyone was reluctant to start eating. With Hyung-wook joining, the restaurant's business boomed, and everyone lined up. After calming down, Hyung-wook felt that this was not a long-term solution, and he must find his own stage. Then, he flipped through the calendar and saw that on the 24th, there was a film crew holding auditions. Then, he came to the agreed location, followed the crew to the set, and unexpectedly, the first scene he acted in was as a prisoner. The other party's hit with a stick directly made him cry out in pain, which also made the director very angry. And then he was given the role of a constable. Being too into the role, he almost broke the other person's leg, and helplessly, the director had to replace him again. In the subsequent roles, Hyung-wook always seemed out of place. In order to improve his professional skills, he began to train his acting skills diligently. However, today, he received a fight scene, and Hyun-wook played the role of a bodyguard. When filming started, he tried hard to block in front of the male lead, and whenever the male lead was about to show off his skills, Hyun-wook always rushed ahead and knocked down the opponents. The male lead, who had his spotlight stolen, was very angry, but the director noticed his extraordinary skills and then arranged a fight scene for him. As a top killer, he relied solely on muscle memory to knock several people to the ground. In the following days, the director continuously added scenes for Hyun-wook, which made the male lead very unhappy. However, during the filming process, the male lead pretended to fight for real and directly sent Hyun-wook flying. But what surprised everyone was that Hyun-wook's ability to withstand blows was so strong.
오케이인가요?
Hyun-wook's professionalism deeply won the director's favor, and Rina always came to help when Hyun-wook was injured, which made them develop feelings for each other. With Hyun-wook's excellent acting skills, the audience had deeply fallen in love with this rugged uncle. However, when filming a kiss scene today, he, who had no experience, was completely out of state and didn't even dare to look directly at the actress. No matter how many times they tried, the director was never satisfied. After returning home, Hyun-wook told Rina about his troubles.
저 뭐 좀 하나 어렵게 부탁해도 될까요?
뭔데요?
저 키스 한번 할 수 있을까요?
예?
Although the two liked each other, they did not develop into a couple relationship. At this time, the two were very awkward. However, when Hyun-wook was sending Rina home, Rina, under the pretext of helping Hyun-wook practice emotional scenes, actively kissed Hyun-wook. However, in the subsequent filming, Hyun-wook quickly found his state, which made the director very satisfied. In the following days, Hyun-wook used his vacation to accompany Rina every day, and their feelings rapidly heated up. Seeing the person he liked playing and having fun, Hyun-wook's heart felt as sweet as eating honey. However, when they were returning home, Hyun-wook suddenly regained his memory, and he remembered his identity as a top killer. After regaining his memory, he came to his residence, but this place was already in a mess. Helpless, he went to the monitoring room, and Yoon Jae-sung, whom he had met in the bathhouse, came into view. Not long ago, Yoon Jae-sung found Hyun-wook's residence and used the other's key card to enter the room. He, who was impoverished, had never seen such a mansion before, and when he turned on the TV, a girl came into view. As the footage switched, Yoon Jae-sung quickly realized it was surveillance footage, and without much thought, he entered a spending spree mode. However, when he opened his eyes, he found that the girl on the screen was committing suicide, which scared him so much that he immediately wanted to call the police. But when he looked at the screen again, the girl stood up completely unharmed, and at that moment, he realized that she was only simulating suicide. After calming down, Yoon Jae-sung started looking for food, and by chance, he found a large amount of cash in a cookie box. Then he ordered a bunch of takeout. Just as he was about to look for a bottle of red wine, a hidden door came into view. He entered the room, where various types of equipment dazzled him, and Hyun-wook's various passports and documents shocked him greatly. From the information on the photo wall, he learned that the girl was named Song Eun-ju, and she held evidence of embezzlement from a listed company. At this moment, Yoon Jae-sung realized that Hyun-wook's true identity should be a police officer, monitoring the girl while protecting her. Song Eun-ju's image appeared in front of Yoon Jae-sung from time to time, which gradually made him develop feelings for her. Just then, the sound of Song Eun-ju running came from upstairs, which made Yoon Jae-sung realize that she actually lived above him. Afterwards, he went to Song Eun-ju's door, claiming that he lived downstairs from her, and came as a neighbor to say hello. In the following days, Yoon Jae-sung always managed to create opportunities to appear by Song Eun-ju's side, which made the two gradually become friends. Yoon Jae-sung would also occasionally prepare surprises for Song Eun-ju and take her to the stairwell to watch movies, and their relationship gradually heated up. However, on this day, a phone in Hyun-wook's secret room suddenly rang, and out of curiosity, Yoon Jae-sung answered the call, and the person on the other end claimed to have important matters and requested a face-to-face meeting. Afterwards, Yoon Jae-sung arrived at the agreed location wearing a mask and sunglasses, and at that time, the people there thought he was the murderous Hyun-wook. With just one action, he scared the other party so much that they didn't dare to look directly at him, and after a conversation, he learned that the other party wanted him to eliminate Song Eun-ju in order to retrieve the criminal evidence she held against the group. Yoon Jae-sung said that he would handle it properly, then took the money and left. After returning home, Yoon Jae-sung was very panicked, as he never expected that Hyun-wook's true identity was actually a killer. Yoon Jae-sung searched through all the cash in the other person's house, bought a house, and planned to start his sweet life with Song Eun-ju. But just at this moment, the doorbell suddenly rang. When Yoon Jae-sung opened the door, Hyun-wook appeared at the doorway. After a struggle, Yoon Jae-sung was kicked to the ground by Hyun-wook. Hyun-wook, who had regained his memory, found the two. At this time Yoon Jae-sung still did not know the truth of the matter. Facing his actions, Hyun-wook was very angry, because he had almost ruined his own plan. After some conversation, it was learned that nominally Hyun-wook is a professional killer, but in reality, every time he receives an assassination mission, he plans a perfect scheme. First, find the target of assassination, fabricate the crime scene, make the employer believe that the target has died, then create a fake identity for the other party to live anew. Hyun-wook did not really want to eliminate Song Eun-ju. He made the other party continuously practice suicide scenes, precisely to deceive the employer who wanted to kill Song Eun-ju. After some thought, the three prepared to put on a performance together.
우리 셋 다 사라집시다.
퀴즈입니다.
내일 저녁 9시 2명의 10억.
내 말 똑바로 잘 들어. 여기서 단 한 번의 기회로 의뢰인 물건 연기를 해야 되는 거야. 의뢰인들의 눈앞에서 보게 되는 모든 것들이 실제로 일어나는 일이라고 믿게 해야 돼. 꼭들 명심해. 그들을 속이지 못하면 또 다른 누군가에 의해 흔적 없이 사라지게 되는 거야.
Hyun-wook, who had everything ready, returned to his residence to pack his things, and just at this moment, Rina, who did not know Hyun-wook's true identity, arrived. He greeted the other party as usual, but Hyun-wook, after regaining his memory, knew his own danger. He did not want to involve the person he liked in it, so he proposed breaking up with Rina. Facing Hyun-wook's sudden move, Rina was very puzzled. He could not believe that the other party was so heartless after regaining his memory, then left sadly. Returning to the car, Rina could not let go for a long time, but just at this moment he saw Hyun-wook preparing to drive away. The other party's unusual behavior made him very strange, so he drove to follow. On the other side, the employers had already arrived at the agreed location. Yoon Jae-sung and Song Eun-ju soon appeared in front of everyone. The two began to proceed according to the agreed plan. Everyone was shocked by the scene before their eyes. Song Eun-ju slowly crawled. The two came to the blind spot of the other party's perspective, and completed the subsequent performance. Then, Yoon Jae-sung threw the USB drive containing evidence to the other party. But just at this moment, Hyun-wook made a shining appearance. Then the two began to fight in front of everyone. After a fight, Hyun-wook, as a top killer, gradually gained the upper hand. As the two were about to reach the designated position, Rina suddenly appeared and interrupted them. His appearance made Hyun-wook very flustered. No matter how Hyun-wook gave hints, Rina did not understand his meaning at all. Everyone was also deeply puzzled by this sudden woman.
이년 뭐야 이거? 이거 누가 불렀어?
지금 저한테 인연이라고 하셨어?
Seeing that Rina was about to ruin his plan, Hyun-wook quickly pushed her aside. But no matter how Hyun-wook tried to explain to her, Rina, who was called a woman, insisted on arguing with him. Having no other choice, Hyun-wook could only signal to Yoon Jae-sung.
내 눈 보고 얘기해. 뭐라고?
그쪽한테 얘기하더라고.
뭐?
Fortunately, Yoon Jae-sung understood Hyun-wook's intention. With the falling of the shipping container, the act put on by Hyun-wook and the others came to an end. To confirm whether they were truly dead, the employer then sent several subordinates to check. Inside the container, Rina was very panicked, and Hyun-wook had to tightly cover her mouth. As Yoon Jae-sung turned on the switch, a large amount of blood flowed out from the ground, which convinced everyone, and they soon drove away. Seeing that the others had left, Hyun-wook finally explained the whole story to Rina. After this incident, Yoon Jae-sung and Song Eun-ju achieved a happy ending. In the car, Rina expressed her worries about Hyun-wook, but Hyun-wook, who had regained his memory, felt he was not good enough for Rina and did not dare to hope for a relationship with her.
저 7일입니다.
뭐예요 그게?
제 나이요.
네?
45이요.
Learning about his age, Rina was very surprised. as she had always thought Hyun-wook was the same age as her. Although it was a bit hard to accept, Rina still loved Hyun-wook in her heart. Afterward, Rina dropped Hyun-wook off at the filming set because the director suddenly wanted him to film an additional scene. It was originally just a simple shot of him turning and leaving, but Hyun-wook suddenly changed the script, making the director very nervous.
제가 지금 떠나는 게 맞지만 떠나지 못하겠습니다. 아니, 안 떠나고 싶습니다. 그냥 당신 곁에 있고 싶습니다. 제 과거의 기억은 모두 지우고 당신이 알던 사람으로 그냥 옆에 있고 싶습니다.
Hyun-wook slowly turned his gaze toward Rina, because these words were what he wanted to say to her.
받아주시겠습니까?
Moved by Hyun-wook's heartfelt confession, Rina accepted his feelings. In the days that followed, Hyun-wook gave up his career as a killer and successfully entered the entertainment industry. With his recommendation, Yoon Jae-sung also fulfilled his dream of becoming an actor. This drama ends here. Thank you for your support, everyone. See you in the next series.